side of us. You could kind of see the thing moving through the woods.
All I can remember is flipping the light on, and I see this creature, and I knew in my heart, I knew in my mind, and the whole night, this isn't a man.
And then this thing walks across the road, takes a turn towards us, and then leaps over a guardrail.
Went to look forward, and there was a big black thing.
Welcome to Squatch-D-TV, exploring the Bigfoot mystery each week with your hosts, veteran researcher, author, and TV personality, the Squatch Detective, Steve Kulls, and from the Bigfoot Research Project of Kentucky, Chris Bennett. Sit back and buckle up as we bring you guests from around North America discussing the Bigfoot phenomena, but not without a few laughs, too. Here are your hosts, Steve and Chris.
And good evening, cyberspace. Welcome to SquatchD-TV for today's date, November 6th, 2022. I'm your host, your guide, the Squatch Detective, Steve Kulls, along with my co-host right down there, Mr. Chris Bennett. Hello, Chris.
Steve, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're feeling better this week.
I'm doing much better.
Good.
Much better indeed. All healed up. Well, not 100%, but getting there where I'm pretty functional right now. So excited about that.
It's pretty bad when Steve Kulls can't talk.
Believe me, I could talk. I just didn't want to talk without teeth. But needless to say, this is all doing very well and fine and healed up very well. No major anything.
Good.
But I will say this. I dropped about 7 or 8 pounds in a week and a half. I wasn't really eating very much. But last couple of days I've been on some pretty solid food. And it's going to be a horrible night at the Kulls residence because tonight I had chili.
All right.
Anyway,
good solid eating in there rather than the lime jello and the pudding and crap.
Yeah. So excited
to come in already.
Yeah, we got a full house. And thank you for all coming in. And I missed you guys last week. I know I did my quick hello and got out. I was in a lot of pain last week. A lot of uncomfortability, getting used to things, still bleeding. I bled almost for every morning I'd get up and there'd still be some blood. Oh. And I get up in the morning and I have a little line of blood on my just under my lip. Of course, natural, all normal. That you'll seep some blood every once in a while, and I'm here, I'm living, and we're all good. And
that chili will heal you up, man. You get some of that good old chili powder in you, and Some of that
Little bit of-
cumin and stuff.
little bit of Frank's Red Hot in there
There you
too.
go.
Little cheddar cheese and crackers, which I broke to crumbs.
Oh man, there ain't nothing no better than a hot bowl of chili with a grilled cheese sandwich. I mean, that's just one of my favorite things in the world.
I don't know. Maybe I'll try grilled cheese next time. I don't know.
Oh, dude, ain't nothing no better.
You know, it's very funny. I only had one complaint about the chili today, and I know Sherry's listening, and she's gonna. Yeah, I probably can hear her. I'll probably hear her yelling through my headset. You know, stop complaining about putting ground turkey in it. It's ground turkey. She made ground turkey. I'm like, come on.
Dude, that's all I've had for several years now. Of course, you know, with the diet, okay, that's pretty much the deal. You don't get ground beef anymore. You get ground turkey. But, you know, with the right seasons and stuff, you know, you can kind of fix it up to where...
Yeah, you don't really, man. But what it does is, this is that little bit of the beef flavor.
Yeah.
But because the fat, you know, leaks into the chili a little bit.
Yeah.
But hey, it was still great. So let's get on to our roll call for the night. First in the house, turn the lights on to the shack was Joe from Western New York Bigfoot.
Hey, Joe.
And thank you again, Joe. 1,000 thank yous for subbing for me last week. I didn't want to not give you guys a show. One of our new followers in the chat for the first time, Keith Ross. He's from British Columbia, Canada. Welcome aboard, sir. Glad to have you. Brian McMahon, hashtag clock change.
Right.
Yes, we have a saying here in New York that came out again the other night. I started seeing this circulating Thursday. Remember, folks, Sunday nights, you know, to change your clocks, and on Tuesday, change your governor. Anyway, not to get polluted.
Yeah, well, I think we changed ours on Saturday because I woke up today and it was like, you know, hour behind everything. Or an hour ahead of everything.
Yep.
Wow.
And we got B. Welcome back, B. I haven't seen you in a while. B, good to see you. Em and Chris. 100 bottles of Snapple on the wall. Grasshopper, welcome. Uncle Bones, hello. Mr. 3P. Oh. Former everything. Who already said fake. We'll get into all that. It's going to be a good little. Angel Nolan, welcome. Paul Daglian, welcome. Who else? I know I see more people.
Former everything.
Joe Dryden, hello, Joe, welcome. The Bat Mom is in the house. Hello, Bat Mom. And Low Rider, of course.
Low Rider.
Former everything. Hello. Sandra Piper, welcome. Brian and Chewy go hiking. Good to see you again.
Sandra.
And Nikki from Hairy Man Hoaxes and Hoodwinks.
Nikki.
I heard she had a real shitty show tonight. She's talking about poop. Who else?
It's jumping. I can't keep
I know Leon is in the house. Don Fuller, Leon, Bigfoot Okanagan. Donald
Leon.
Fuller. Hello. Diane Trick.
Oh,
Hello.
yeah.
I'm sure Jimmy is somewhere in the background. Of course, the missus is in the house. I'm always being watched.
Hi, Sherry.
DM Zabo is in the house. DM Zabo. Little Kilroy also in the house. Hello, welcome, guys. Good to see you. And I'm still scrolling. You guys are awfully talkative tonight. Jen, hello, Jen. Lockbeard in the house as well. And I think I got just about Raptor Crazy in the house. Hello, Raptor. Mark Godwin, welcome, Narc. Jay Fritz in the house. Jay had that great story we had a couple of weeks ago. An encounter that was really a treat. Sharon, welcome. Who else? Aaron Mullenkampf is in the house. Aaron, good to see you, sir. Flyby Stu is in the house. Hello, Flyby. Okay, I think we've caught up.
Daniel Weeks.
Daniel Weeks.
Daniel Weeks.
Hello.
It's a lot. And we appreciate each and every one of you guys and gals.
We sure
showing
do.
up.
We sure
it.
do. So,
If we missed anybody, it's not because we don't love you.
that's right. It's because the eyes don't work as good as they used to. Anyway, a lot going on, Chris. As many know, if anybody hasn't caught the new Small Town Monsters episode on their YouTube channel with Alex Petikoff, when we did the Whitehall Sasquatch Festival, we did a little video shoot as well. And that's on YouTube. Be sure to catch it. It's got me out there. And, of course, there I am collecting a scat sample, putting it into a DNA tube with a little bit of wise acidness from yours truly. You got to watch it to catch it, though. So I'm not going to give that away. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I might know a little bit.
And poor Mike was just standing there like, oh, got me again. And I don't see Tack out there in the chat room, but that was a lot of fun. But so there I am in, getting my gloves on. There I am a little beforehand. Can't even see the camo on the jacket at night there with the stern look. Like, what the hell? Of course, a couple of weeks ago was the Great Chautauqua Lake Bigfoot Expo. Got to spend a lot of great time with Dr. Jeff and Sauce. Caught up with Self Breed Love for a little bit.
Yeah.
Paul Matea, a great Western New York Bigfoot investigator. And believe it or not, I don't know if Joe said anything, but I actually got him to speak a little bit about his encounter with Rasta and got him up there. And hopefully that helped him get a little more confident about talking about what he experienced, especially amongst, looks like Matt from Central Florida Bigfoot just snuck in the house.
Hey, Matt. Good to see you, man.
And, pass the popcorn, guys. Everybody pass your popcorn. So, yeah, it's been a really busy few weeks for me between that. And then, here I am, in between all of this, I'm doing dental appointments to get ready for this. Okay. And, obviously the 22nd was the Chautauqua Lake thing, and here it is, the 28th, I'm having my surgery done.
Yeah.
So it just really gave me no time to finding the trackway just snuck in too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and then now we have the heat wave. I don't know if you're getting a heat wave, Chris.
Oh, it's been really nice here the last few days. It's been, great. Short sleeve, weather. If you wore shorts, if I wore shorts, I could have worn them, but I usually don't. So.
Yeah, you wear shorts, people have to put sunglasses on because you're
nice and pasty on the legs here.
Shh! Nobody was supposed to know that he snuck in. But yeah, so what happened was, I don't know why, and I don't know if other people are getting this on their YouTube, but we seem awfully grainy. And I'm just refreshing it to see if, but if anybody out there in the chat thinks we're blurry or anything like that, please let me know, because it may just be the computer. And it seems to have locked up. So, not on this computer, on my other one.
Okay.
But and Jen says Chris is really quiet tonight. Okay, it's fine there. All right. Cool beans. That very true.
Like volume low. I don't know.
Only the Bigfoot's blurry. Very true. Yep. So tomorrow night the weather's supposed to be back down to the 30s. So, all right. So on the 26th, well, actually it didn't drop, I believe, until the 27th. A video dropped that was starting to make the rounds. A new video.
Yeah.
And let's follow the. You really started to pick up traction when this gentleman here on October 27th decided to post this video on Facebook, staying right down the road, Silver Point, Tennessee. Definitely not a little baby sass. Thanks to the cool vid Clay Shiner and your buddy that got it. So right away we said, okay, the video didn't come from this guy,
right?
But he starts posting it in some Bigfoot groups, joining Bigfoot groups. He actually created a YouTube page that day, I believe, or if not, it was the 28th, which is really, not that important, really, in the scheme of things. So we tracked down Clay Shiner to his YouTube page, which also had the video. And we have a channel by the name is That Is Impossible, asking to use the video. And the guy says, oh yeah, you may use this, on your page. Just give me the credit, which is kind of confusing because he said, my friend was walking around with his kid and just saw this. He quickly filmed what he could and sent it to me and to be brightened up. Other than that, you saw what he saw. LOL. What's LOL? Kind of makes no sense. There's no story here. You turn around.
I was kind
What's
of
that, Chris?
wondering about that too.
Yeah. What's that?
His buddy's video, and he's got it on his channel. He goes ahead and gets permission to give him credit.
So it's on at least 2 YouTube channels. We
Yeah.
have this on Jason Smith's channel. Now we have this on Clay Shiner's channel. And as far as I know, the person who took this video doesn't have a channel, but he did post this. When he posted this, Bigfoot filmed in Baxter, Tennessee, near Silver Point, October 25th, 2022, which is kind of interesting because, the quickness of everything being put up, I just find it a little bit weird. It goes through, this other guy. But anyway, he puts the name Daniel Whitehead, my friend, property owner, in broad daylight, just inside the tree line. There's really no more description of this, which is always an issue, obviously. So, where was this filmed? Well, as you know, I have my ways, and we know that the alleged film location occurred here. Right somewhere, perhaps on this property in here.
Right.
Not entirely sure, but maybe on this piece of property, just inside the tree line. So maybe here, maybe over here, whatever the case. So, let's take a look at the video in case people who have not seen it yet. So, pop that on.
Do you see that? Do you see that? I'm afraid.
I'm afraid.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. How did you see that?
Now, what I've done is I have zoomed it and sharpened it so you get a view of what's going on. Your very long arm, you see.
Yeah. Yeah.
which really was the selling point to a lot of people. Again, let's not be fly-by-nighters. Let's not just argue the video. Well, I see this, I see that. This is why this is real. Listen, we don't have a story here. Right. We have a date it was shot. We have, allegedly where it was shot. Only, we didn't have the exact location. Only through me that we did.
Right.
Or allegedly the exact location. We have no story. We have the proverbial 28-second video where we starts and there it is, and it's already there. Yeah. Center frame. And then, of course, all of a sudden it pans back to it looks like a side-by-side of some sort or a dune buggy of some sort. And then back, but then the video ends.
And what I didn't like about it, the max resolution available on the video was 480p.
Yeah. What's up with that? Why is this being filmed on like a kitty camcorder?
Yeah. Or one of those little jazzy camcorders.
Yeah, I mean, so there's some issues. There's some definite issues.
But I liked how you located the property where it's supposed to be at, anyway, according to what their claim is.
And, in fairness, I looked at Jason Smith's page.
Yeah.
And boy, a lot of people were just nailing it about it. The Bigfoot non-believers, of course, are saying, yeah, right, oh, look, the Bigfoot's blurry, what a surprise. But then you have other people that are making up very valid points. Why the video cut off? Right. You're sitting there committed to videotaping it. Why did it cut off?
Yeah.
How many hoaxes have we seen where that happens?
Yeah.
I have asked Mr. Whitehead to come on the show, but he has yet to read that message because I thought it would be really cool to get him on the camera and talk to him about it and see if there's some better explanations.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing all the trademarks of, your typical hoax. There's very vague preliminary information. What time of day was it? Right. Where did it go when they were done? No follow-up video. Nothing. Right. No before video, no after video, and anything that could support your claim. But yet, between Jason Smith and this other guy, they're just throwing it out all over the place.
Yeah, it's kind of the there's no really story other than just a little vague snippet of a story. This is my buddy's video he made. Okay, have a little info from your buddy. Why was he shooting video out there? What were they doing? Stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. What were they doing out there?
And when the camera moved over to, I suppose it was a kid or a young person.
Chris, are you hearing that?
Every now and then I'm hearing it sounds like a jet engine spooling up and then spooling down.
That's my fan, but you are hearing that, correct? When I blow into the mic?
No, I'm not hearing it. I can hear you speak, but your volume may be just a little low.
Nah, something's not right.
I think they've updated StreamYard or something and done some stuff. I don't know. I think my mic is a little different than what it was too.
How about now? Can you hear me okay?
God.
Yep.
Oh boy, that's a big difference. That's blowing me out though.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. There we go.
Okay. Maybe be okay. Yeah, you back up from it a little bit. I think that'll be good because you were just a little weak before. And
check 1 2. Check 1 2.
That's much better.
Okay, how about that?
That's good. Good.
Yeah, apparently for some reason it was set on Yeti mic, but it was set on Yeti mic, but it was the wrong Yeti mic. I got like 3 of them, so I have no idea. So okay, good deal. All right, cool. And I apologize for that. Again, I'm hearing myself in this mic, but I don't know. Weird.
Oh, Bat Mom is killing me.
Yeah. Sorry about that, folks.
Little technical difficulties.
Yeah. That's pretty weird because, actually that's the reason why it was actually the computer mic that was on, not the.
Oh.
And when I jacked it up.
Okay.
That's why you hear the jet engine, because it's picking up the background.
On the computer.
Right.
I got you.
Well, that sucks, man. I don't like not having good audio for a show, which kind of sucks. But very good.
Well, I can hear you before. You just got a little bit lower there, right before.
Yeah. Well, because the fan is churning in the background.
Yeah, that's what it is. Don't hear it now. It's good.
Don said he thought I was on the flight deck of the Nimitz looking for Tic Tacs. Okay, so now that we have the sound issue resolved after doing the first half hour of the show and the whole summation that we're getting into. So my question is to the folks, I'm going to play this one more time for everybody. Do
you see that? Do you see that? I'm afraid.
I'm not buying the conversation at all.
Oh my God.
Not buying the conversation at all.
Oh yeah. Found you. See that? You see?
And of course, the zoom in now. Just watch very carefully, folks.
Yeah.
Do you see what I see?
Don't see what I don't see.
Yeah. What I don't see is a story.
Yep.
And here we're getting the fakety fake. Even Rick Dyer says try harder. I see Photoshop. Hey, Steve, welcome. Curious Cryptid Steve. Give me an H, give me an O, give me an A, give me an X. Diane says phony script. The missus says definitely fake, but that's no fair.
Yeah. Mr. Lee.
Camera is facing almost due east or due west. Yep. Tim Halloran. Hey, Tim, good to see you. If Halla sounds too calm. Tim Halloran says, looks like a porcupine. That's right. A porcupine.
Oh, Tim.
So I think on the porcupine scale, we may give this like 1.5.
It may get a rating on the porcupine scale.
Now, people are asking me, why do I have some basis of my summation here? How can you say that without evidence that this is a hoax or this is fake? Can we do that, Chris? Can we actually call something a hoax without some digging?
Well, I think we probably need to do a little digging before we write it all off.
I think so too. The fact is that we have no story. Not an indicator of being fake necessarily, but we're I should say it's an indicator of being a fake.
Yeah, it's a red
video.
flag.
If there's a red flag, huge red flag. A very vague story at that. Psychologically, again, he's with his child or with his son, and you're not worried about protecting your son or getting the hell out of there because here is this beast in front of you that you never seen before, never know. You don't know what it's going to do.
Right.
So your reaction is to, oh, let's stand here and film it for 30 seconds and go, oh my God, look at that. Oh my God. Right.
That's another red flag.
Another red flag, but it's still not proof. Still not proof. We need the proof. Kulls, don't you always talk about having the proof? Well, yes, I do. I always talk about proof. So let's look at some proof. So I want everybody to watch very carefully. Now we've slowed it up. Whoop! What happened there? Now you see it, now you don't. Where's the rest of the leg? Okay, so now it's behind a tree. Another branch, I should say.
Evidence of cloaking.
Oh, well, how is half the face in front of the branch and not the other half?
I don't know.
And I'll tell you why. Because the branch, I'll explain when the video is done.
Wow.
Okay, so let me explain to you. The branch is at kind of an angle like this, backwards.
Mm-hmm.
So when the layering, the vector layering is done, when you add this, which I'm assuming is a real video of perhaps an orangutan, maybe colorized, maybe changed to black. But when it crosses, because it's a flat image, right? It's a flat image, and it goes behind this image. This is laying exactly backwards towards the video, the camera.
Yeah.
That's why you see, because it only can do this. It's working in a 2-dimension.
Yeah.
So this is my contrast enhanced. And there it is. Clearly,
Whoa.
you can see the branch even disappears in the portion of the tree for a split second. As it moves over, you'll see some, but then that branch, because it bends backwards, when the head moves over, only a part of the head goes behind the tree, and the remaining upper half of the head goes above the tree, right there.
Huh.
So that.
Well, I could see this as evidence of CGI, but I'm still on the fence that it could just be a really grainy, crappy video.
Yeah, but you can't make a leg disappear, even in a grainy video.
Yeah, that's the leg disappearing bothers me. That wouldn't explain the crappy video.
And the other thing is to sample some other vectors of the video.
Right.
As the camera moves, other tree limbs aren't disappearing. Other portions of the video are not disappearing. Only where this subject is are portions of the video disappearing. And as you know, we looked in the Texas Bigfoot running video, we could see where exactly the same thing, as they tried to vector it behind foliage, a portion of it disappeared and then magically reappeared. So, and what it has to do, and a commenter on one of the posts said, sadly, the frame rate on Bigfoot and his ability to be flat in an image with depth is indicative of CGI. And that's exactly what I talked about just now, was that that by being backwards like that because it's flat,
Right.
and they're trying to, and what it is, it's just a CGI image producer. It's probably you hit a button and it kind of you try to put it at a certain depth.
Yeah.
But because of those certain items, if all the scenery was 2-dimensional and flat and not, a 3-dimensional angle, it would have, it would have been more smooth. But
yeah, when parts of the creature start disappearing and reappearing, you got to suspect something's going on there. Some kind of handiwork somewhere.
Yep.
And that may be where people got the idea for cloaking Bigfoot. They see a bad CGI attempt and they say, "Oh wow, that just means he's cloaking," to explain away the disappearing sections.
Yeah, it could be a neighbor wearing a hoodie, but his neighbor Leroy. Yeah, I'm gonna get in the hoodie. You can take a picture of me and let me go out there and all that here. But there's no doubt to me what we're looking at is a video of an orangutan that has been superimposed and colorized to be darker. That's just my guess on how it was put together. To me, there is no doubt that this is CGI. I've seen enough of this in my day. I see this on, a lot of people don't know. I look at a lot of UFO videos as well, but I wait for the experts in that field to debunk those and say, okay, here we go. And to me, it just did not have, I'm watching this, I'm going, that's CGI. That's how my eyes pick that stuff out, in an instant. And there's better CGI programs than that. And I think part of the issue here is the reason why it's only in, what was it, 480 or
480, yeah.
480 pixels was because the editor they were using or the programming they were using, this is not a high-end type of program they're using.
Right.
So they used a low resolution video, or it was a higher resolution video because of the processor that they put it into. The best they could get out of that video was 480. So I'm wondering if perhaps this was an app that they used to make this video.
Well, I didn't.
So let's consider that.
Yeah, I didn't say a watermarker on there or anything, but now that could have been clipped out too. It's
and that's my thought. This was taken with a phone, and it went through an app, and the app produced that video, and that's the reason why the frame rate, the pixel rate, all of that was
doesn't match.
Yeah. Darren Week says it certainly doesn't hold the candle to Todd Standing's footage. Yeah.
I agree.
No.
I agree.
I agree. Todd Standing fakes a lot better than this guy. Grasshopper said there are no candles. So,
well, when I first looked at this, the first thing I wanted to look at was the resolution, because I always like to look at everything at the highest definition that you could get, right out of the box. And when I first saw it was in 480p, something said to me, red flag,
yeah.
something's
and that is so indicative of an app. And that just came to me as we're talking about it. It's like, I know it. It's an app. They used a phone video in an app, and it probably had parameters where they had to cut the video and crop it, put it in there, and put their little figure in there.
Yeah, I'm just on the fence. I really don't know what to think about it. You make a really
Grasshopper made a comment he wants us to read. There we go. Camera soft to make sense of change hitting CCD, low res pixel boxes, blank out the memory of that spot. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And that's exactly what it did.
Well, I'm still on the fence. It could be just a really crappy, grainy video of somebody playing around with a a Sasquatch costume. The good ones got the long extensions for the arms and stuff. Or it could be CGI manipulated. And if it was going to be a good CGI video, I would think if they were going to do it right, that it would have been better than 480 resolution. But
okay, so listen to the stories on how to hunt. No way they would stand around and take pictures, videos. Both terrified. Well, how to hunt is just a lot of stories sometimes, unfortunately. There's how should I say? There's a lot of potatoes, but no meat.
Well, that's something that we could talk about, Steve. Is not exactly the video itself, but
Media Palace. Hey, welcome, Media Palace. Good to see you. From what I saw on Facebook, it was a Halloween. Good point. I hope it is, and it's very coincidental. It got popped out there on Halloween. Very well could be.
Yeah, usually around Halloween you get the YouTube videos about with the guys that got the gorilla suit for Halloween party, and then they're out making a Bigfoot fake video. Anything comes in around Halloween is suspect.
And if they're admitting now that on Facebook it was a Halloween decoration, and I agree, the timing of that, I didn't even bring that up, but the timing of that, coming out around Halloween, a Bigfoot, we've seen that happen. In Canada, they were saying that Jacko, because it came out right around the 1st of April, was nothing but an April Fool's joke. But because there's no, there is no meat or no evidence for Jacko other than this story.
No physical evidence for.
But
Jacko
really, the expert on that would be Tom Steenberg. He really has done a lot of.
But some of the descriptions in the story, add weight. The way he broke the stick by wrenching it, that added weight.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know how they could have just popped that off the top of their head. Maybe they were lucky. I don't know.
Steve says, sadly, my brother-in-law set his phone camera to the lowest possible quality images. This means his kids first are blob kids with blob toys. Very true. And you know why? It is entirely possible that maybe it is not CGI. I've seen, the Texas there. That is one difference. The Texas video was not a 420 pixel or 480 pixel video. It was a 1080 video that had pieces of it missing. So there should be really no reason why it was doing that. Don Fuller says, do you have a video breaking down Standing's Bigfoot running up the side of a hill? People still think that's legit. No, I really, there's not much you can just look at it. Look at the story behind it. What story is it? It's amazing how a person like Todd Standing, who's a great storyteller, when he comes out with these videos, has no story.
Yeah.
He's got stories for everything else, but he's got no story about, how about Blinky? What's the story behind that?
Yeah.
What's the story behind ask Todd, what's the story behind that? He'll come up with some story, but ask him a year and a half later, he'll probably come up with another story. I do have some sources that state that the person running up the hill was a Edmonton, Alberta firefighter in a costume, basically. That Todd had hired to do that, but I don't know. That's coming from confidential sources, but they haven't been double checked, so I can't say that with any veracity.
It's
Jeff, how you doing? Says that the technical effort is crap, but the dialogue is such an unnatural reaction. It's almost worse than the imagery. Agreed. It's like, hey, look at that. Oh, wow. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah.
I can't help but feel that the guy making the video should have been shaking a little bit more than he was. I mean, even if you're out in the woods and you come across one of these creatures, in reality, you're going to be shaken. You know, I don't think there's anybody that can say they were like just fine during an encounter. You're gonna feel something that's not normal. That you're not gonna be going, oh my God, look at that. Do you see that? Do you see that? No.
Diane says maybe he uses flip phone to record it. Yeah.
Very possible.
Well, I don't think that's very possible. The person who allegedly filmed this is a business owner. And he takes a lot of nice pictures on his flip phone of the stuff that, he's building.
Yeah.
And the stuff he's working on. I don't know how you can get these nice, beautiful resolution pictures, but you take a shitty 480 pixel video.
Yeah. Well, I got experience. If you're going to take a crappy picture like that, or a video, you're going to be using something like a jazzy camcorder.
Yeah. I ran into a couple in my day, and
yeah,
I had a camera in my pocket.
Yeah.
And it was night, but I didn't even think of that really. And if I did, I said, I'll never get it out in time to really get a picture of it, because it's going to take off the minute I move. And it did.
Oh, yeah, man. I started out with that jazzy camcorder that fit in my pocket, and I thought, man, this is it. I am going to change the world. And, boy, that didn't change much.
No, that's the funny thing. We all think when we first get into this, we're going to change the name of the game, and we've seen it, and over the years, I've seen people run out with handheld camcorders, then handheld night vision camcorders, which only shoot 10 feet in front of you.
Well, I would like to talk about the behavior that was displayed in that video. And I don't think it would be, it doesn't jive with the reports of Bigfoot behavior and sightings, because I don't think they would have just stuck around when it obviously knew the guy was looking at it,
Yep.
I think it would have been gone.
Yep.
Either that, or it would stayed. I believe it would have stayed beside the tree and not moved an inch. And I think if you play the waiting game with them, I think you're going to lose, because they can stand there longer than you can watch and trying to look for movement. But it just didn't seem like it was really cared if he saw it or not. It just kind of sauntered over to one side.
Yeah, the actions of it were very unnatural.
Slow, yeah, and it reaches out to show the length of the arm. Okay, well, that's very. It's two things. That's one. That's movement like an orangutan would make when they're moving, because they typically move slow and to the side. They'll reach their arm out and grab a limb or a branch, whatever. But that's interesting. You got me. I'm kind of leaning towards that CGI thing.
Yeah, it just and like I said, the woman who made that impression she saw the same thing I did with the branch and the head. Why is only the head?
Right.
Like, okay, so yes, you may be able to explain the pixel disappearing, for that, but that was for a significant amount of time. And not only did it make the creature leg disappear, it made the branch in the tree disappear, but it preserved the background of what it was behind as well.
Yeah.
But you can't explain the head moving through the branch.
Right.
You can't explain that. That's why I'm thinking CGI, and I think it's a phone app. I really do. That's why the quality of it's so low, because you know what? They probably didn't want to pay the pro version to get your, 720 pixel, your 720 video.
Yeah. Well, I think there was a lot of behaviors that were off. The cameraman's behavior was off. the subject being filmed, I think that behavior was off.
Yeah, the people was
Lot of-
off. The behavior of the
red
creature was
flags.
off. The story was, non-existent and
Non-existent
vague.
story.
And Raptor Crazy said Todd Standing video is where the guy running upside the hill had boots on. A lot of people pointed that out when the video came out. You know what? Truthfully, I really didn't look at that video all that much because of his reputation preceding him. Like, what? Another one. You get so tired. Like Linda Newton Perry. You get so tired of calling out their crap. Cat Hansen, Linda Newton Perry, Todd Standing. Dyer to some extent. Not lately. But you just have this constant crap. I ain't got time to worry about that. It's just another fake. I want to find what's
I've watched
real.
some of Standing stuff. I've not paid. I will not pay to see his video production that he had on his website at the time. I would not pay to see that. But I have seen some of his stuff that he put together, and it's not that impressive. I mean,
well, I'm not sure if he got attention. Maybe on Facebook, but all the YouTube channels, not as big as you think.
No, there's not that.
I
many
think Jason
views.
Miller had like 1,400 hits on the video. The other guy, what was his name? Klein.
Don't remember how many it was, Steve.
Clay Shiner.
Yeah, Clay's.
Clay Shiner. He didn't have that many hits on it, maybe another 1,400 or 1,500. It's not like it went super viral, at least not on YouTube. And none of them, by the way, have enough subscribers to monetize the amount of attention either. So
hey, that's a green flag right there. That one, that's a green flag. There's no way they're making money off this. So but when you put the amount of green flags up against the amount of red flags, we have a clear winner here.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, well, oh well. And
Personally, I think it would have been made a better video if when he turned to the other person, which presumably is a kid, or a young adult, when he turned to the other person, if he would have said at that moment, "Hide the garlic," then I think that would have made a much better video.
I don't think he was using that as a thing. I think what he was kind of saying is about the whole attention thing. Standing has always been in it for attention. That's why he tries to petition the Canadian government. It's why he tried to petition the Canadian government, not to prove that Sasquatch was real or get protection from them, like he espoused that to the community. But he was suing the Canadian government because they were violating his Canadian civil rights by not acknowledging the Sasquatch exists.
Right.
So that means if I believe Santa Claus exists and the Canadian government doesn't, or any government for that matter, does not view that as being real, then my rights are being violated. That makes no sense. So that's why.
Steve put up one here I'd like to address there, Steve.
Yeah.
Says Steve, Curious Cryptid. Steve said, "Interesting. Why would you use subscriber numbers as indication of credibility?" He's not doing that at all, Steve. What that was an indication of was the channel. The channel is not monetized, so that means that the guy who put that video up was not looking to make money with this video. So that's all that says. It doesn't say anything about credibility other than
exactly.
The guy's not monetized on the channel.
Right. Todd Standing definitely is monetized.
Oh yeah.
Living in his mom's basement.
Ban
everything who is someone who's been terrorized by UFOs and paranormal events. I despise fakers and hoaxes. I agree. Yep. Jim Jones had a lot of followers too.
He did. Not as many now, I think. Oh, that's bad. I'm sorry. I take that back. Retracted.
Too soon?
Oh, it's bad.
Too soon?
Oh, no. I should not say mean things. Oh.
What's up?
He was asking about Standing, not the no-name hoaxer. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that the reason. Well, Standing, his credibility would be in question because he posts his content to make money on completely.
Yep.
Like this Bigfoot video he's putting up. Well, it's monetized. But the other guy, the new guy that is not monetized, it seemed like he would not have that same motivation as somebody else would.
To me, the motivation would be a prank.
Yeah.
This is just a prank. When somebody sets something up, there's one of three things going on. Either one, you're trying to make money.
Yeah.
Two, you're trying to kick off a prank and get your kicks. Or three, you're trying to achieve status as an expert or an authority. In each case, Todd Standing, well, that's for money. We all know that. He's been doing it for years. He came out in 2004, 2005. I know his complete history. I was there before Standing was even a name. Right. Two is the joke. We've seen a lot of those. They're made to make people look like idiots and start finger pointing. Look at those dumb squatchers. Yeah. They're falling for this. They're saying, oh my God, look how real. Right. Oh, see, we got them. That's what they're doing. And lastly is to gain status. Remember the Nobby Lives Thomas Byers affair, where he had this pathetic looking video of that. And he was a paranormal guy for a while. And then, he puts this video out of Bigfoot that kind of like waves almost as it walks across the street, obviously costume. And it's just blurred enough to kind of make it a little hard to see. Nobody fell for it. But the whole thing is that he set his Nobby Lives video up the day before the video was taken, which is an incredible coincidence.
He had a plan.
And somebody asked if the last face of Bigfoot, the one that's like this. Yes, it's his father. If anybody hasn't seen that on my channel, take a look at, one of the second Todd Standing video. And that came from, I knew where to find a picture of his father. And we compared the little eye moles that he has on the sides of his eyes with that in the hairline and all of that. So yes, it's very clear that was his father. And that also came from the same source that told us about the Edmonton firefighter.
Well, because, when you do a hoax of that nature, you're not expecting the public to ever have access to that secret background information, of who the model might have been that that was made up,
Yep. And funny thing is hoaxing a Bigfoot prank, and they likely get a whiff of what the Bigfoot circus is really about. But there are people that are vicious out there against hoaxers. Even if it's a joke like this, like I showed the location where it was possibly filmed. At least that's what they're claiming it was filmed at. Right. But I didn't include any of the street labels on or anything like that because I don't want to certainly dox the guy.
No.
I'm not even saying what town that was in because it's not in the town that they listed.
I don't think an aerial view is going to pinpoint the location either.
No.
But it's good to see the proposed or the claimed film area to know were there a lot of trees there or any waterways?
Oh, it definitely is.
Uh-oh. It cut off, Steve. Yeah, I can't hear your word, buddy. It's muted or something.
There we go. We got it back.
There you go. Yeah.
I love my Yeti mic, but as you saw in yours, where there's kind of a short in the,
yeah, if you
right.
wiggle the thing, yeah.
This is a brand new mic. Same thing.
It must be a thing with them.
Yeah.
Be.
So I'm not really a big fan of the Yeti anymore. If you have it on the swivel, if you touch it in the wrong place, it shorts out.
Yeah.
So I'm very careful as to where, and I just happened to grab it at the wrong angle and touch the wire. And it's not even the wire. I think it's the jack. But it is what it is.
I think it was a good video to watch. It's something new to look at and talk about. And,
well, the other thing too is we all have to remember that this is what we do as a a researcher with integrity.
Yeah.
And that's what we do is we investigate claims, and that's we investigate. Our job is to take these on a case-by-case basis and put up.
Yeah,
Nikki said
watch
she
for
had
the
to
red
replace.
flags.
Yeah. And watch for red flags, because what the amazing thing is that in my occupation, people think I'm a magician. Like, I'll see somebody walk in a store and go, they're gonna steal, and I'm like, how do you know? Well, after a while, not only you get, it's easy to say you get a feeling for these things. And in writing my new book that I'm writing,
Mm-hmm.
which hopefully will be out by the spring of next year, it's going to be something to do with psychology and Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I realized, while I'm working one day is that, I do a lot. I'm a real bulldog of an investigator. No, Pat Mom says Sherlock Holmes. Not quite. But what it is just a lot of experience watching a person's facial tics, watching their body language. When a person walks into a certain area and they're tense,
yeah,
when they're just shopping,
right,
there's a problem. And that's why when they come in, I can almost automatically say, oh, here we go. Because, especially when they come in groups, because they're not smiling and they're not socializing, they're being very quiet, and they're like very straight-faced.
They got an agenda, huh?
But you see the tightness in the body, you see the tightness in the walk, you see the pursed lips, you see the, and it's just so automatic. It's like, boom, there it is. Yeah. And that's not being a magician. That's just, capturing and arresting over 3,000, almost 3,000 people in the course of your career of seeing that. And then, how do I know when people are telling me the truth and lies and all that other stuff? Well, it's interviewing those same 3,000 people,
right?
Giving them a line of questioning that a lot of times the friggin' answers to.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with this. You do it enough times, you see a video come out, you hear the stories, you see the same patterns time after time after time.
Yeah.
But people don't want to, and again, our audience, I'm preaching to the choir here. If anything, our audience is three things. Our audience is intelligent.
Yep.
Our audience has common sense, and our audience can think outside the box. So they don't look at everything just two-dimensional. The people that see a Bigfoot video come out and want to have an opinion that it's real or it's fake, just on the merit of looking at it for 5 seconds or 10 seconds.
Right.
Well, they're not researchers. They're not investigators. They're people, flybys, and they're entitled to their opinion. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But where are you going to weight that opinion?
Yeah. I like looking at the new videos because you never know. I mean, one might pop up that's going to be, hey, this looks good, and that's all I can say about them. I either like them or I don't. And but when you get into the details and you start adding up red flags and green flags, 99.9% of them have too many red flags to be acceptable.
Absolutely. When I met Jeff Meldrum back in 2011, and for the first time, and I'll tell you what, he's been really a great person to listen to.
Yeah.
And you hear him explain a lot of things that people will say, oh, we're not real or fake, like the Skookum cast.
Right.
And I asked him, the first time I met him, I asked him about the Skookum cast. And his first words out of his mouth was, well, the devil is really in the details. And that's stayed with me since 2011. The devil is in the details. If there are no details on this video, guess what? It is a detail in of itself.
Yeah.
Right. So, you can't serve a pie up without the ingredients.
Right.
Which is the reason why I think, the Patterson-Gimlin film has stood up, because there is a big, elaborate, long story to all of it.
Yeah.
And yes, there are people that will say there are some things, but the story's been retold and retold and retold.
Right.
And that happens. And the interesting thing is there Steve is saying the Skookum elk buck cast, but the devil's in the details. When an elk lays down and it gets up, what's the first thing it does?
I don't know. We don't have any elk around here.
How about a deer? What's the first thing a deer does when it's laying after it lays down?
Well, it's true about the relieving themselves. Yeah.
They relieve themselves.
Yeah.
So there was no elk droppings, and that's what led them to believe that what they're looking at. And there were some elements in it that he very arduously explained that just simply were not elk. So,
well, some of the stuff, even supposedly the greatest video that was ever made was the Patterson-Gimlin film by many accounts. But there's things I like about that. There's things I don't like about that. There's just, who knows? We weren't there. Yeah, finding the trackway. It says Kentucky has elk. Yeah, we do, but not here locally though. I've been give it up on the hunting anyway. So.
I do not think that it would pass the smell test if it was indeed an elk. If there wasn't some elements, because you had the people that examined it were Dr. Jeff Meldrum, Dr. Esteban Sarmiento, Dr. Darius Swindler, and Dr. Leroy Fish. Dr. Leroy is no longer with us. So I don't know. There are things in that anatomically, and Meldrum's specialty is anatomy.
Right.
There are items in that just defy it, and I'm sure Dr. Henner Fahrenbach had his look at it, and I think Dr. Krantz was alive and had a look at it as well at the time, but don't quote me on that.
I don't know what to make of it. I've tried to follow along with that and look through the explanations and the details, and I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't say I like it, and I wouldn't say I would. I wouldn't. I didn't. But I'm on the fence about that. I've not seen a lot of videos that I really liked.
Yep.
Even the ones that I felt favorable of, terrible, grainy. poor resolution.
And that was the problem with the Freeman footage.
Yeah.
You know,
oh God, if Freeman had a 4K camera with him that day, I mean, that
yeah,
that would have made a big difference. Patterson Gimlin too, you know.
Yeah. You know, I often wonder, you know, and a lot of people think that the Freeman footage is fake. You know, I would like to, I would really like to, Michael Freeman, his son, just finished a book about his father.
Right.
So I'm hoping that maybe we'll get him on the show at some point, because I'd like to really read the book and get the spin on what he thinks. And, you know, of course, I think he's going to be, you know, for his father being real, but his father was not perfect.
Yeah.
So,
well, I would be interested in reading Mike Freeman's book, because there's some questions that I had that have not been answered about that footage. And hopefully he'll cover them in his book. Hopefully. If not, if he'll come on the show to promote his book, maybe I can ask him directly. You know, that would be good too. But I'll buy your book anyway, Mike. Don't worry.
So they were shooting a TV show during the Skookum Cast, so it made for good content. Absolutely, it did. But, you know, Roger Patterson, on the other hand, was out trying to film a Bigfoot, and he filmed one too.
Yeah.
So that's in of itself is not an indicator of necessarily a hoax. Otherwise, we would have to point that out about the Patterson Gimlin film.
Well, yeah, but if you're making a documentary and you go out and find some really good evidence right out of the gate, that's kind of suspect. It is.
Well, it wasn't necessarily out of the gate.
Yeah, it don't mean that the evidence was fake, but it just
they had been there a few days, and right. Roger Patterson had been out for 6 days.
Right.
You know, so
the Independence Day Bigfoot. What do you think about that one, Steve?
I'm not sure if he means the I don't know that one. I know the Memorial Day Bigfoot.
Memorial Day footage. That's what.
And
Daniel, you mean the Memorial Day footage? Yeah, finding the trackway says you got way too many guys sitting out in the woods filming hunts. Yeah, that's another thing that gets me.
The July 4th Bigfoot. I'm not 100% sure I know which one that is.
No, July 4th. Okay. Oh. Let me do a quick.
Chris is going to look it up. How far was the closest logging road from the film site, PG Film? Not sure.
I'm not finding anything yet.
Yeah, well, see, he says July 4th Bigfoot rides the picnic goers. Yeah, the memorial footage did that. Well, the picnic goers were filming it across.
Okay, I got you. Okay, that's the one with the Bigfoot baby. I think we have an answer for that one. If this is an old video, I think that was Leroy Blevins, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the 4th of July Bigfoot clear video filmed during.
Let me tell you, if you're filming, you ain't hunting.
That's it. That's it.
Jay, it depends what you're filming.
Yeah.
If you're filming unfortunately finding Bigfoot, some of the parts, expedition Bigfoot, no, you're not hunting, because there's always camera people and they're asking you to redo things. And, but I'll tell you, we've filmed and hunted many a times. And when I say hunted, understand that these guys don't care if you make noise. They're not going to run away from you. Sometimes if they hear your noise, they're a primate. They're naturally curious. They're going to see what's going on before they take a hike. And 9 times out of 10, they already know what you're doing before you do it. So I don't think for one second that, I don't think for one second that, there's right ways of doing things and wrong ways of doing things. And yeah, there's been production crews I have that there's no way we're going to get any film footage. If you do it smartly, like Small Town Monsters, or, even the Monster Quest crew I had, back in 2008, they did it smartly where they stayed in the background and let us do our thing, and not interfere. They spent the time and then would ask questions at the conclusion of things. There are certain production companies that they want to ask you every step of the way, and that just kills it. So yeah, there's right ways and wrong ways to do that. And of course, Brent brings up Zasky Films Bigfoot on every item. I'm talking about Mark Zasky. Boy, what a strange person he is. Not a very nice person, apparently. But and I have my reasons for saying that. And that's true. Don said them pareidolia squatches will get you every time. I don't think it's pareidolia a lot of times. I think it's, I got to have some content. And, when, again, like I say, number 3 is you want to establish yourself as an authority. So you go out every time and see a Bigfoot.
Yeah. The Independence Day Bigfoot was the Leroy Blevins hoax.
Oh, it's Leroy Blevins hoax. Okay.
Yeah. He made he was a big outspoken critic of the Patterson Gimlin film. Yeah. And to prove that Patterson Gimlin film was a hoax, he manufactured a really good suit. I mean, I tell you what, the Blevins suit was much better than any other suits that I've seen. Of course, most of the guys are just doing a gorilla costume.
Hey, there's our good friend Chuck said, yep, I had to ask the Monster Quest crew to be a little more quiet in the beginning. What's up, Chuck? Good to see you, brother. Yeah, but they were really, really good about just letting us do our thing. And unfortunately, they didn't, and one of the things we should have told is keep your recording going at all times, because they missed the scream we caught. Which you don't get too many out where we were. So
that's like me and Scott down by the river that night, and hearing all that noise around us. I said, "Did you get that?"
Yeah.
No, did you?
Yeah, I hate that.
It was so great.
Chris, I think we're going to go for an hour and a half tonight, as opposed to 2 hours. No sense in dragging things out a lot tonight.
You've been in the deep end of the pool quite a bit tonight. So
I have, haven't I? Yeah. But yeah, we're lining up some guests and some fun stuff to do. And again, I have a real busy week coming up as well.
Oh yeah.
Trying to think. I think I'm trying to. On the 14th, I'm going to be on the Tim Holleran's podcast, The Bigfoot Influencers. Yeah. Of course, make sure you swing over to SquatchDetective.com, and there's a link to Tim Holleran's book, The Bigfoot Influencers. Get yourself a copy. Great read. in, a pretty thick book too. So,
Yeah.
Really, really great read.
Good stuff.
And I'm doing an interview for a Western New York outdoors TV show. I'm doing that this Tuesday. So,
that'll be cool.
Yep. So I'm doing that Tuesday.
They're gonna have a segment on Bigfoot or something on there. Or?
Yep, absolutely. They're gonna have Bigfoot in Chautauqua County.
Okay.
So that's why they're interviewing me, because I've been out there quite a bit. So, and I'm sure they're gonna talk to other folks too, like Paul Matea, who's the BFRO, a longtime BFRO investigator out of there.
Yeah.
It's very interesting, and what I liked about getting back to Chautauqua, what I liked about Chautauqua was we were, you have guys that, myself included, that have some evidence that some people have argued that's not, what it is, but we all have some really good rationalization of why we believe it is.
Yeah.
And as long as somebody does that, and, because Mike Rugg had that video of the thing running on the thermal. That was phenomenal. And his explanation of it, phenomenal. Now, whether it's a Bigfoot or not, I don't know. I wasn't there, but, I can respect that. And if somebody can come up to me and explain to me why they think this may be a Bigfoot, like the Skookum cast, I'm not saying that's a Bigfoot, but I respect the people behind it that think it is,
right,
because they can explain it logically. And I can respect the people that logically argue against it as well. I'm not in anybody's corner on that one. I have no skin in the game. It is what it is, what it is. It's not evident. It's not conclusive evidence anyway. We know that. No picture, no video, no cast will be. Only one thing that's going to bring it home. And that's a piece of a body, or unfortunately a body itself.
Or a head. Yeah, a head.
Or even a hand.
I don't know. It could still be argued. It's, no. You got a gorilla hand there or something like that.
Yeah, but DNA would take that right.
If you brought the head and said, "Hey, this is a Bigfoot head," get your DNA right there. It is. Some just dripped out on the table.
Oh yeah, the head would be. But say one got whatever, you find an arm of one.
Yeah.
Well, where the hell are you going to find a gorilla arm in North America? Kind of hard to find.
Well, that could be done, and that's why I gave Dyer credit. If he comes out with a new hoax, it would probably be something of that nature, where he obtained a body from Africa, or one that had passed away from a zoo, maybe. I don't know. Depends on who you know.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's a very interesting prospect there.
Come on, Rick. We need a new hoax, man. Come on. Put one out there.
Don't egg him on, please.
No.
Please don't egg him on.
I ain't got nothing against Rick Dyer, man. It
oh, yeah,
funny.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Yeah, Dyer will find the Bigfoot in Standing's truck. That's good.
That's rich. That is rich. I like that. Oh, Daniel.
Daniel, you get the shout out of the day for making us chuckle, and that was good. For Dyer's new hoax. He found a Bigfoot. He found in the back of Standing's truck.
Oh, man.
Don says, I think he better up his TikTok game. Oh, by the way, Don, just so you know, TikTok is spelled TIKTOK. Kids these days. There we are. Steve, with the answer to the trivia question of the night, how far was the closest logging road to the Patterson-Gimlin film site? Was about 500 feet. But that makes sense.
Would that be modern roads or the roads how they were back then? See, that's the thing.
See, Chris just upped the ante there. Was that a logging road or was that a regular road? Because if it was a regular road, the question was the nearest logging road. And unfortunately, Mr. Steve CC, you would be. Alex Trebek would not have been happy with that answer. Yeah, and that is very true. 500 feet in that terrain can be a lot of work. Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of work and a lot of, same thing in the DAX. You get there like, ooh, 500 feet that way.
It's a lot of work for me to get back and forth to my mailbox, Steve.
Well, it's a football field and a half, almost. Well, my comment would have been deleted if it wasn't. My comment would have been if it wasn't deleted. Like shady work.
I missed something.
I did too.
I missed something. I don't know.
I don't know. Don's saying plenty close for Roger to, meet up with the suit wearer.
Yeah.
Well, let's face it. People try to stick up for Bob.
Yeah.
And say, well, if Roger faked this, he might have just faked, it might have fooled Bob. No, I'm afraid not. If this is a hoax, everybody was in on it, and that's the bottom line.
There would have been a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm not convinced it was a hoax, though. I'm not convinced. Not convinced it's real either. It's kind of like over the years, I've kind of, but you listen to Meldrum and his dissertation on the Patterson-Gimlin film, and God, it's got me leaning, a lot back to where it's kind of restored my faith in the film. But anyway, let's kick off here.
I'm in here, Steve, and
you got something else?
No, man. I've lost it.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
sorry, guys.
Good to be back. And very fun and entertaining show tonight.
Yeah, I had fun. We need to be getting off of here pretty quick, Steve, and let me thank everybody for being with us tonight. We appreciate everybody in the chat. And if we have podcast listeners now, are you posting those up now?
Not yet. I'm going to be.
Okay.
So.
Well, to our future podcast listeners, we appreciate you. And if it's his first time watching the show, being with the show, subscribe to the channel. Give us a like, punch that like button. Help us out.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
And remember, share. If you have a YouTube account, feel free to share the video. So anyway,
sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. So anyway, on behalf of everybody here at SquatchD-TV, I want to wish everybody a happy and safe week. It's the 100th episode, Chris.
Tonight's 100.
Tonight's the 100th episode. Look at that. Episode 100.
100.
So before we go tonight, let's talk about our ad hoc phony sponsor of the show. Just one more time for the 100th episode. You got it.
Are you Bigfooters thirsty out there? Well, I suggest to get a delicious, refreshing Snapple. Yes, even the most famous Bigfoot rush to the store to get themselves their favorite beverage, a delicious peach Snapple. No need to be cranky when you can just ask your loved one for a delicious beverage.
You got it? Joan, get me a Snapple.
And don't be in such a hurry. There's plenty at the store.
Get me a Diet Peach Snapple.
Try delicious peach Snapple.
Joan, get me a Snapple.
Had to do it, folks. I just had to do it. 100th episode. You know, why not?
We crave a peach Snapple now. Not
anyway.
really.
So, yep, I haven't talked to Chris about a thing yet, but there's some things coming up that are going to kind of change our post here. And I'll explain that a little bit later and in the coming weeks. But anyway, on behalf of everybody here, I want to wish everybody happy and safe, healthy week. We'll see you for episode 101, and we'll catch everybody next week. God bless everybody. Be safe.
Hey folks, you've been watching Squatch-D-TV. Join us each week, Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern for the latest on the Bigfoot mystery. As always, we thank you for being our loyal viewers and encourage all to subscribe to our YouTube page at youtube.com/Steve Kulls. As always, have a great week. Stay safe. God bless and keep on squatching.